This is a placeholder song until we replace the old song. This is a placeholder song for Is This Anything?
It was really weird. I had this in my schedule completely wrong time, day, which is weird. And
the name of the event, too.
Yeah. It's a dad's birthday on the 14th. So I didn't come.
I do like the idea that taking your hair down is what was late because you had to keep doing this. And it was in slow motion also.
I had walked through some meadows while running my fingers through wheat fields.
Gotta get to the Zoom.
So waking up on the wrong side of the bed is like waking up on the wrong side of your hairstyle for Rob. And it's not necessarily that you're in a bad mood. It's just that you have to do way more before you get your day started.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to I want to do the movie thing or the TV show thing to visually represent that I'm a little out of sorts today. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, what happened to you? Because if I have my hair up, I just look normal.
It's a real thin line between I just got out of bed and I was just having sex. So if your hair's too mussed, it looks like you just got finished, getting busy.
We've got some comments here.
I like to comment on this. Johnny 0117 said, I'm super jealous of the thick fur Rob has on his face. It looks like the lining to an Ushanka hat. And this is not the first time that Rob's beard has gotten a compliment when he is on a Zoom with another man with a beard.
Two men.
Well, I mean, yours is more like stubble, Brett.
What
Come
the
on, man.
fuck? Two men.
Ow.
It would be funny if Leedy was also and a woman with a beard.
Three.
All right, Leedy, come on. That's not... Pink Monkey Bones, thanks for joining. What a bonus for my day. Y'all are joining me at work. Oh, well, what happened to you? What job are we doing with you?
Pinky Monkey Bones, let us know what your job is.
And we will incorporate it. We will try to help you.
Like a college improv troupe. We will do a scene about it.
Jarret, yours is lovely. The coloring and sculpting is excellent. Very well kept. Druck has a beard.
You pieces of shit, you guys. I love it.
Rob and Jarret are wearing face warmers. Don't worry, Brett. You'll get there soon. You know what? My beard is fairly thick. It's also, I have lighter hair.
That's true. Yeah. So, who wants to hear the massive news?
I want to hear the massive news after I tell you that Pink Monkey Bones for a living is raking poop.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Not even for a second. Too funny of a job.
Do you work at a zoo or a dog shelter or something like that?
Or a fertilization treatment plant?
Maybe you work in corporate finance.
Hey! Maybe you're a congressman, huh? Right?
They'll more with Jimmy Fallon later.
Dang! These jokers
I think she said, or
in Washington.
Said, raking poop, not spreading poop all around the country.
We have Avril Lavigne next.
But it's just Rob with two light sides of his hair.
Stick around. Ansel Egelorp is here, whatever his name is.
Ansel Elgort. Ansel Egelorp.
Who is that?
My made-up name for him was not... is equally ridiculous to his actual name. So.
It's true. It's
Did you call him an incel?
It sounded like you did.
Incel Egelborp.
Who is it and what is their actual name?
I don't even know what we're talking
Ansel Elgort is an actor. He is most recently Tony in the West Side Story movie, the new one.
Oh, and he can't get laid? Or
No, I'm sure he can. He's a very attractive movie star. So I think he's doing all right.
He must be a Volcel.
Voluntary celibate?
Yeah.
Volcel.
What's the opposite of celibate? Is it incelibate? Can you be incelibate and having sex? A non-celibate?
I think it's a liberal. I don't know.
You just complimented us.
Yeah,
you said we get laid.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't trying to be mean to us.
You said it in the roast tone, so it was very confusing.
Oh, well, whatever.
I really like this other person in the chat whose screen name is a man comedian. A man comedian?
Ooh.
What? Men aren't funny. What are you talking about?
But he's going to talk about sex the whole time.
And his penis.
And his period.
I went down a whole rabbit hole because Brett asked what the opposite of celibate is, and I've been trying to think of it since.
It's got to be
Because-
like incelibate or uncelibate or not.
Yeah, but
celibate.
in celibate, if you were to condense that, because I thought about that,
It would
too,
still say incel.
it would be still the incel. I was like, I can't do that. And then, so I was trying to think of like he just fucks, like so and so fucks, but then I was thinking about, well, what about someone who involuntarily fucks? And then I thought at first it was a cool idea, like, oh yeah, I'm fucked, but I don't even know what I'm doing it. But then I was like, no, wait, that's just a rape victim. And then I was like, oh man, this whole path is bad.
Oh no, I got
Imagine-
one for you. Oh, I was gonna say accidentally fucking is like the plot for most porn. Like, oh, she fell and then I fell and then my penis came out and oh, I guess we're fucking and we're related.
We're in fucks. It's incest and we're in fucks.
We do a lot of bits where we imagine what the inside of Rob's brain looks like, but I imagine that this one, like you went down this path and you were like, at the end of the path, you were like, oh no, it's just rape.
Why do so many roads lead here?
And then, so then you start like lighting it on fire. You're like, this path's no good. I don't like this.
By the way, a man comedian is a very dear friend of mine. That is Ashley Manning, very talented comedian.
Oh, hey Ashley.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining
Ashley should join you guys sometime.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Ashley Manning.
check 'em
Sounds
out.
good. Well,
Dang.
I am not going to let Judy Bonello go on a second longer without hearing the breaking news.
Okay.
Oh yes, please.
Breaking news is Kirsten and I have abandoned our holiday plans because of the pandemic.
What?
Yeah.
That
Whoa.
is breaking news.
She was going home to the West Coast. I was going to go visit my mom in Pennsylvania. But we woke up on Saturday. We took a look at these COVID numbers and we were like, this is unsafe. So we called it off, man.
Good for you. That's great.
I
Hey,
know.
good for you.
We
That is
are
great.
heroes. Thank you very much.
I am now
I
going to
still
use
think
that as a reason for us to not go to the Christmases we were going to go to, and because it's the right thing to do, and it's safe,
Because it's the right
it's smart.
thing to do.
And you hear that, Leedy? We don't have to go.
I mean, it is not. She's
No,
not even
she wants-
remotely
she-
amused.
She wants to go a lot.
Oh, she's so sad.
We're gonna
Look
go.
at her and her
We're gonna
COVID
go,
face.
go.
Oh, she's so full of COVID.
COVID. The COVID lady here.
It's Omicron. Come on.
Omicron?
Omicron. That's the
I don't know how to say
variant.
it.
Omni-Man.
Incel bigaboop.
I was thinking of if Omicron.
Sorry.
I'm an incel in that I'm involuntarily celibate from incest. I was thinking about that when I was doing the porn thing.
So you were
I've never fucked
not by
somebody in
so
my
you were
family.
trying to have incest, but you were not by choice not having incest.
I keep trying, but
My sister, she's a real tight-legged, if you know what I mean.
yeah. So I guess I'm a voluntary incest cell.
Like trying to shuck an oyster, that lady.
Oh, I hate all of this.
Yeah, I tried to move on and correct it, but Jarret was stuck.
Not letting go. This is fun.
I have an Omicron joke. If you want.
Ooh,
to hear
okay.
it. Okay. My Omicron joke. It doesn't really kill very often, but everyone gets it.
Excellent.
Come back.
Excellent.
We got Bruce Willis.
Ooh, what's it, Brett? What does it mean when our follower count starts going down? I don't know how Twitch works.
So if you guys, we're gonna start recording soon, or officially starting the episode, and I just want to know that you guys enjoy this because I think that this might be how we're gonna be recording episodes from now on, which means all those jump cuts where we say something, you're like, well, I wonder what they said. Well, you're gonna hear it.
I don't want to advertise that. I don't want
You're gonna hear it.
So this is gonna get us lots of viewers. Come on.
You ever wonder when there's a cut and Jarret looks really sad afterwards? Well,
now you can see where that sadness came from. So yeah, we're probably gonna be doing this. We're just testing it out, seeing what's going on. We're getting a nice, thanks to Leedy's raid, we got a nice group here, and you're all fun, and we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, I brought along my favorite new chatter. I brought along Team Poop : so you're welcome.
Model
J.
Brett, you should probably think before you speak. No, I will not. Okay, this is a workshopping show. All right, and so I'm gonna say whatever I want. how poorly I want, and then be ridiculed and figure out how to fix it. That's how you learn.
That's what we do on this show.
Exactly.
Team Poop Gang Gang. Yes.
Team Poop Gang Gang. I don't know what's going on. I just love. Oh, is that Ansel Engelorp's name? Pink Monkey Bones.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about us getting canceled. I try to cancel Brett and Rob like every single episode, and it never takes. So I just think we're uncancelable. Where did Rob go? Well, he's doing he's going to tell people about the Twitch stream.
Yeah, I guess he went to physically post it to Instagram. He has a different machine and a different room. Okay, it was twitch.tv/isthisanything. He goes.
Well, he thinks that a post.
I just
wall.
I just got back from Instagram.
He sends a Morse code fucking beep, 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 beep.
Well, knowing what Instagram is, like all of the, the thirst traps on there, I imagined he opened the door. It's just like a party, like Cabo. And he just goes in there. It's like, if you guys want to check out our Twitch stream, we're at, oh man, Instagram.
I was picturing more like he has a room full of people he's kidnapped, and that's what he considers his Instagram followers, and he just goes in and tells them a joke or shares a picture with them. And then when one of them starves to death, he's like, I lost a follower.
What's our link again?
Twitch.tv/isthisanything.
Let's get this party started.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Is This Anything? Guys, what's new? What's going on?
I already told you guys my catch up. I didn't realize we were saving that for this moment. So
yeah, we're figuring it out. The important thing is that we're actually Twitch streaming this time.
I am home for the holidays, as is my fiance Kirsten.
Who, big news, by the way, big news between a couple that's about to get married, and everybody obviously thought they were pregnant. Big news. They're not going to Christmas.
So Kirsten last year, Kirsten is very big on going home for the holidays. That's why this is big news, is because, this is like a last minute cancellation, and this is the first Christmas she hasn't spent with her family. Last year, when we were in the thick of the pandemic.
So happy about it. Like, we are not gonna let her see her family.
She is crying every day. Misses them so much. So last year, she was like, pandemic's happening. I really want to make sure that I'm with my family, so I'm going to leave nice and early before the flights get crazy so that I can at least feel like I'm not part of the problem. And I supported this. But that meant that we were apart from each other for like 2.5 months, and that sucked. But she was on the phone with a friend of hers once, and she was like, hey, what's going on? And the way Kirsten described it was she was like, I'm separated from Jarret right now.
Oh, no.
And her friend, because she was like, oh, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to impose, just like left it at that, and she went and told her boyfriend, like, Jarret and Kirsten broke up, and he's like, what happened? Oh my god. And so for months they thought that we were like not together anymore, and then we went out to like Hot Pot recently, and they were like, oh, so you guys patched things up. We were like, what?
That's insane.
What are you talking about? All right, I was still able to contribute to the catch
that's
up.
great. Somebody has a great question. Dizzy wants to know what's going on with the floors. Did you drain them? Are the floor people? Have they moved in? Are they on the lease? What's up?
The floors were fixed, actually. They said that it was going to take 2 days, potentially, working from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they finished in 3 hours. So we just have a new floor. It smelled great. What a weird thing to notice. But I kept on being like, I love the way this room smells now that we got new floors in here. But yeah, the floors are great. The floor people were great. 2 thumbs up.
The new floors smell good, or is it that whatever was collecting under your floors didn't smell good and you were used
gone?
to
it? No, I think it's just like, I don't know. I think I like the way that new construction smells, where like they put down some fresh paneling or whatever, some fresh wood paneling. Woohoo! Yeah. Anybody else got something for the catch up?
Nothing super big here. Leedy has moved in, and we're just slowly putting the apartment together. Our next big thing is to get a track curtain in the living room so that you don't get the TV and those white boxes in Leedy's background.
I don't know. That's a cool background.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
cool.
dynamic.
She's made it look very nice.
I think she did a little set dressing there for sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember you reading a book. It looks like there's a...
Actually, can you go get that book?
I will go get that book.
It's my one book.
I allow Leedy to have one book in the apartment. That was part of the rules.
That's kind of you.
All right, the one book that I own. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Fisting the art of Borg porn.
That is from our Patreon episode, I believe.
So, if you want to get that
put it
joke,
in my bag.
patreon.com/ITApod.
We will
I
not be
flew it
explaining it here.
all the
Absolutely
way.
not.
I flew it all the way from Albuquerque, so it could be here.
That's so sweet.
I mean, the other option was leaving it in your room for your family
Yeah,
to
yeah, you're
find,
right.
and I can understand why you would take that with you. Then.
Imagine she tried to smuggle it out in her fanny pack and got caught. That's another Patreon episode
Oh
reference.
man, did I tell that story on a Patreon episode?
I believe one of our first ones. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
that's embarrassing as hell. Anybody else got something for the catch up?
Yeah, well, you know what? My stories are always a little bit obscure sometimes. I
Stop it, Rob.
Do you guys know
Stop
the
it.
moon?
I hate this bit. What is going
I
on?
went to this restaurant. It's called McDonald's. I know that's probably going to go over some people's heads there. Rob, did you have to flip your hair just as you were saying that your stories were a little obscure, you know? A little poetic, not for the common man. I mean, y'all can watch your Marvel movies if you like, but if you really want to get into something, check out a Rob Ryan story. It's like a French
God
film.
damn it.
Based off of what we thought Jarret was going to announce, which was a big thing, Leedy and I are getting cereal tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Having cereal in
name
the
of a
house.
cereal you're going to get?
Probably something Rice Krispie or Frosted Flakes, corn or rice based because we're both gluten free.
Well,
Corn
I'll
or
be happy
rice?
so long as it's healthy.
All right.
which is it, corn
That
or
was-
rice?
That was seamless, Jarret.
Thank you.
It was the smoothest fun I've ever heard. Wait, Rob, did you have something absurd?
I was going to say something else, but I don't want to milk this joke any longer than we need to.
Oh my god.
I would have loved it if his obscure story was just like a bunch of random words, like a Yoko Ono piece of art, you know? I mean, that stuff's a little obscure, but let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. Phone, great. War.
You got to watch the Patreon.
You gotta watch a Patreon if you want to get all these hot bits.
All right, you know what? I'm going to tell this story now.
Oh.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that I won last night a weekly poker tournament that I play,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
thank you so much. It's like a little $80 buy-in with rebuys. There's about 8 people or 9 people or so. So the pot got up pretty good. First place was originally supposed to be $900. Okay. And I hadn't been able to talk to my brother about this. My brother, for some of you who don't know, is a professional poker player. So whenever I have poker gripes, he's just the perfect person to go ahead and text and just complain to. Here was my gripe. First place, $900. We are now 5-handed. Okay. 4 people pay out. So we are on what's called the bubble, meaning the last person who does not get paid any money. Every once in a while, everybody can agree and say, hey, why don't we all pitch in a little money so that the bubble actually gets some money? So we all take a little bit of money from that pot. Somebody had suggested $20 a piece, which is already actually a lot because the payouts were $200, $350, $600, $900. Okay, so for everybody to pay out 20 would be now all those prices go down by 20 and this person gets 80. So it's 80, 180, 330, 580, 880. Okay, a little strange. I am in first place by far. I have tons and tons of chips. I think I have 10x whatever anybody else has. Maybe that's a lie, 6, 7x. A lot. And so after somebody suggests, hey, why don't we all pitch in 20 for the bubble? I'm like, okay, fine. Some other fucking dude, he goes, yeah, I mean, I just feel like first should pay more. I feel like first should pay 50, And I am clearly probably going to win this tournament. And I look at him and I'm so fucking mad because it's like a social thing. There's 5 people there. I'm clearly in first currently. So I'm just like, are you just making me give you $30 more or whomever is going to be this guy. And I don't want to be like, no, let's not do that, So I look around and I'm like, okay. Fine, I don't care. You know what? And then the dealer, he was a little, anal and fastidious about his way. He was a good poker player, but he was a bit of a type A dude. And he's like, everybody has to agree. You agree? He's like, do you agree to the $50 thing? I was like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. He says, okay, chip leader agrees, which was actually the correct thing to point out, that the very, very much chip leader agreed to this when obviously it's probably going to be my money that's kicking out. I go, yeah, it's fine. That's cool. Let's do that. So now, by the way, the other amounts don't go down. So now it's 50, 20, 20, 20. So that means that the guy gets 110 for 5th when 4th only gets 180. Very strange payout structure, not typical, and probably shouldn't have been done. But I was like, whatever, it's all for fun. So my potential 900 now goes to a potential 850. Knockout, knockout, knockout. Now it's just me and the anal guy. I have his chips, again, crushed, maybe 6, 7x times the amount of chips that he has, something like that. But a lot of times, poker tournaments go for a chop, meaning instead of playing until we get first place and second place, we just agree on some price that's fair and we just stop playing. So I'm down to 850. His payout at the moment currently is now supposed to be 580, if you remember from before. 580 versus 850. And so when he goes, you guys want to maybe do a chop? You want to do a chop? And I say, sure. I just gave up 50 before, so how about I give you 50 more? So 630, and I'll take the 800. And he goes, hold on. I just want to figure this out. And he goes into his phone, his calculator. I said, yeah, I'm just saying $50 more. He's like, just give me a second. I was like, all right, fine, man. I'm just offering. He's like, all right. And he's calculating. He can do his calculations. That's totally fine. After he's done, he goes, I would like 670. I was like, dude, I just gave up $50 like 10 minutes ago to someone else. I'm giving another $50 up of this one. He goes, yeah, but were you even the chip leader at that point? And I was like, yeah, I was so mad at that comment. I was like, 10 minutes ago, man, you were the dealer. You pointed at me and you said, do you agree? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, chip leader agrees. It was the strangest, gaslighting. I was like, what do you, yes, of course.
The most apparent effect is what he's using to make his case is like, was I even dealing?
Are we even playing cards?
Give me $600. I was so mad. I said, that's not. I was like, look, and we eventually agreed to 650. Anyway, that was it. That was my story. Thank you for indulging me.
Very obscure.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe we should get to these here jokes.
Get to these here jokes. Our order this week is Brett, Jarret, Rob.
All right.
Brett, Jarret, Rob, BJR. Brett, Jarret, Rob.
I got an old goodie for you guys. I got an interactive joke today.
Interactive joke. I love it.
Interactive
I had a
joke.
joke that I could set up this way. So what I want for you guys is, and Leedy included, I want you to write down a trite or common kind of spiritual, encouraging expression that you might hear for people who do therapy a lot or something like that. Okay.
Okay. All right. I got mine.
We're all doing this?
Yeah, everybody's going to write down one or two, whatever comes to mind. Okay. So here's the joke. I had this bit about overachievers and people who were really successful, that they had a lot to prove to somebody. That's the reason that they were that motivated. And it goes into that's why I wish award speeches were honest, because people wouldn't thank God and their family. They would just get on stage and be like, fuck you, Angela. So I want to lead this into this next bit, which is, I think billionaires have that same void. They're just trying to fill that void. So really the only way to get them to stop hoarding wealth is to put them in therapy. And then all they need to do, all Jeff Bezos needs, is somebody to go, you have enough because you are enough. And so now I want you guys to take this premise and fit that into your expression that you've written down.
I mean, mine doesn't really work because
that's even better.
All right.
Now you have to make it work.
I think maybe I get it. Let's see.
Right.
What I wrote down was keep an open mind. So I suppose for this one, it would be keep an open mind and an even more open wallet.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. I had healing isn't linear, and neither should pay structures in your company.
So mine was the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and so I'm gonna change that to the journey of having a normal amount of money is paying your taxes.
Excellent. Great job, guys.
Woohoo! Yeah, I like this joke a lot. I mean, it's definitely aligning with the morality that I like to have in any joke, where you're calling out a legitimate sickness that exists. Yeah. Mm-hmm. These like moneyaholics, these people with their earning addictions are hurting everybody in the world. And, this idea of therapy works. I think that an intervention would be really funny also.
Yeah. Then that sets me up to do multiple things, like just people going around the circle saying, Jeff, you are enough because you have enough because you are enough. And whatever, what other trite expressions I can come up with.
I love the next step of this maybe being that the whole thing backfires, where the person's like, "You're right. I'm gonna buy you." Nope, that's not how this. You're mine now. You're like, oh boy. All right, boys, let's pack her up.
What if they're like, like a billionaire tech bro who's like, man, you have really helped me. I'll bet if I scaled this, we could help a lot of people. And how much money do you charge exactly? Okay, so if I get even 1% of that and I can scale this across the country,
right. I think we can therapize a bunch of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, you're gonna wear this wristwatch to make sure that you're therapizing at least 5 people every hour. But no. Yeah, I want to know where you're going to be at all hours of the day.
Do you do couples therapy? Because I have a bunch of investors that I'd love to bring in on this.
I just talked to my IP guy, and we have therapy as an app already copyrighted. So there you go.
I like put like close up on Bezos. He really has a breakthrough moment, and then we pull out and we see like a whole room of investors go, "Oh, okay." Yeah. You see, it works.
But if to go back to your original idea, a good way to get into that is I can go. This billionaire goes, well, how do you know that works? Like, well, I did that. I found what was missing, and I have fulfillment. And he's like, so I'll buy you.
Nope, not how it works.
I'd like to offer. Yeah, like what's your price on this inner peace that you're talking about? Drive a hard bargain, huh? All right, let's see.
We how many therapists though would take the deal and just be like, it's not about how much money. It's not about how much money. You know what? You're better. They look at the check and they're like, you did it. Whoa.
I wonder if that is a real struggle. I mean, just because of the way that capitalism and the whole world is really set up to appeal to, like, I wonder when you are Robert Iger or you're Jeff Bezos, or you're just like that filthy rich, the way that people treat you, it's so disingenuous that you wouldn't even be able to like properly get good therapy. Like you at least certainly there would be some times where you would almost be getting yes men in your therapy session. It must be a bizarre thing to go through.
I mean, I think there's probably a whole cottage industry of not therapists, but like life guides that help out people who are super wealthy, and they're listed as like empaths or life coaches or something.
I think that there would be, because I agree with you. I almost feel as if the type of people who would infiltrate that sphere, though, probably the most successful ones are the ones who do know how to cut through that and not be affected by that type of thing. Like there's a friend of mine who is he's like a professional dog whisperer type person, where he's like, I know dogs, I know how to get them to behave. So he's like a dog behavioral therapist type person, but he does high-end clients. So in his phone and his contacts are these pretty famous, pretty wealthy people, but he does not give a fuck about them because he cares about the work, he cares about the dog. So when whoever the hell, put in, famous actor here, incel Bangort, when Mr. Bangort texts and says like, hey, my dog's whatever, he's just like, don't do that. You're being like, you cannot absolutely, do not come back to me if you're going to treat your dog that way, because that is not the way to do it. If you want to work with me again, you better whatever. And the guy's like, okay. So
he's like treating the celebrities like they're the dog. He's like,
that's
no,
exactly what he does. He 100% takes the lessons from dogs, and he's like, got to treat people the same way. Sorry, like learn behavior, tell him once, never accept anything else again.
I like to imagine that they text him and they're like, hey, my dog is peeing on the couch. It's like, are you letting him on the couch? He's like, oh, he's calling me. And then they pick up the phone and he's like,
hey, is this a good leash for my dog? No, Bono, drop it. Drop it, Bono. Drop it, Bono.
That's so funny.
Bono.
Anyway, exactly. And I think that people of that status almost probably like prefer it, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, they
it's
probably get off on it, like the way
Yeah.
that CEOs always go to like dominatrixes. They probably
Right,
don't even have dogs. They're like, oh, my dog is doing a thing. Oh yeah, tuck down to me.
Yeah. Anything else for this bit for Brett, everybody?
No, a lot of meat there and a lot to work with. Thanks, guys.
Woohoo! All right. Next up, we got Jarret Bernstein. I got a real short one here, so I'm
Anything
I'm
from the
hoping-
comments?
Oh yeah, let's take. You know what? Let us check in with the comments here.
It's a comment
Okay.
break. It's a comment break.
Believe in your dreams. Somebody says LMAO, Brett. I had to mention that one.
Someone said, Brad, you're so cool. We love you,
Yeah.
Brad. Your beard's awesome. Oh, jeez. Scroll.
Brett, you're just reading your self-affirmation journal.
Oh, whoops.
Ah, boy. Pick up cereal.
Jack also said, believe in your dreams. Judy said, good one, Jack. So, see, I'm pointing out other people got comments.
Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else who's not on the show.
That's not us.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't have competition from Jack.
All right. So yeah, I got a real short one here. I hope that we can find something to riff off here. I read a lot about politics and world events and everything. And so I always try to do my research before I go off on something political, but even if I'm just like retweeting something on Twitter, I always try to read the article, know what I'm talking about before I even retweet that. But I have to admit, like sometimes I don't read the entire article before I retweet. Sometimes I don't even read the whole tweet before I retweet, or I'm just like, Mark Ruffalo, something about being anti-abortion, that's an art tweet. That's it. That's what I got, everybody. What do you think?
I like it. I think I need a little bit more on why you're so trusting of Mark Ruffalo.
All I wanted for there was I was like, what's a thing that I could I see like 3 words and I know that I'm gonna retweet it.
And I want to make sure I get the premise right. This is like you're standing by this behavior, you like this behavior, you don't mind that you retweet.
No. This is like I have to admit that I have flaws. Where I try my best to do the deep dives to make sure that it's well researched. But sometimes I retweet an article if I haven't finished it. Sometimes I retweet an article if I just read the headline. Sometimes I retweet something even if I haven't finished the whole tweet.
Got it. I love this. I love knowing what words trigger you to be like. I know Mark Ruffalo is very funny because you just agree with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, because he's a big lefty, So I thought that would be
It doesn't seem like the first punchline to me. That seems like a tag to me because, first of all, I don't know for a fact that Mark Ruffalo is as lefty as possible, but I love it. It's just that if you had other keywords that you could throw at me, that you're just, Republicans fail at, I'm like, retweet.
Yes. I like that. I like that a
You're
lot.
like, oh, I want to. And then just whatever it is, so it's obvious for me, the joke listener, I'm like, I get your thing. And then it could get more and more obscure. Mark Ruffalo I was like, perfect. You're like, what? Or says. You're like, oh, yeah, that's funny.
Well, that
now
was
I know.
That was what I was struggling with because I was like, if I just see the word abortion, am I going to retweet that? Or if I see the word anti-abortion, am I going to retweet that? But the rest of the tweet could be negating the thing. So then it's like, well, who can I trust that if they're tweeting out the word abortion, that I'm like, I know I agree with what they're saying, Like Elizabeth Warren, abortion, good, great.
Good, go for it.
Sending you off there.
This is a style choice, but I actually like the style of instead of being like a little bit, meter tempered sometimes at whatever, it could be funny to just own it so 100%. You're like, sometimes people accuse liberals or whatever of sharing things, whatever, maybe not doing a deep dive. Yeah, that's right. It's my side. I get to do whatever I want. If I see someone who agrees with me, retweet. Retweet. Then you could just be the blowhard in a over the top funny sense. Where you're like, if I see anyone who's agreeing with me, guess what? It's gonna be on your feed.
Retweet.
It's gonna get a retweet. Hey, you sir, say something liberal. Yeah, exactly. Retweet.
You basically become, if somebody's tweeting liberally, you become a bot, pretty much. You're just an automatic retweet bot.
So follow me at Echo Chamber.
Can I suggest a slightly alternative angle, maybe in addition to.
Well, I will say, Rob, super funny. There is a point. There was a point in my trajectory as a comedian where I was like, if something's funny, that's great. But the thing that I'm trying to do right now is to be funny and to have it align with my morality. And so I love. Yeah, I know. I think what I'm doing is like harder and therefore better than what you guys are doing. And so
come see the Jarret Berenstain Show. The New York Times raves aligns with his morality. If you think this show doesn't align with his morality, you're wrong.
Oh my God. Did you see Jarret Berenstein's show? The morality is so his. Do you know what I mean?
It's so aligned.
I like this bit because it's not like good. It's what he has. He's telling you what he thinks.
And he cares who knows it.
So that's the thing is like, do I want the message to be that me and by association, other liberals are fine with the echo chamber, that we don't care that we're putting out that information without doing a deep dive into it. And that's not the message that I want to be a part of. Like if I am doing that, it's a failing that I can tease about myself, but it's not something that I'm proud of. It's got to be something that I'm like, I'm working against it. I'm working to get better.
I don't know. I for the sake of comedy, it does seem that the other thing, like I would have to.
Yeah, you'll put
trust my
toxic
audience.
material into the universe. Yeah, I get it, Rob.
Yeah. Despite claiming that you feel otherwise. Like, the trust in the audience to know that you are being hyperbolic in a sense, while gently teasing at or owning the potential foibles of your side, of everyone's side. I don't think, so many. It's human to pick a team. It's human to rah that team, regardless of whether you're down 20 points and your team sucks and it doesn't matter, whatever it is. Like that's what rooting for your team is. So I don't see it as this huge moral failing. It's just funny, and it still espouses your beliefs, but it says that we can be flawed in the approach. Whatever, it's totally fine. But yes, that's my pitch, and I knew too. I know you well enough to be like, I don't think he'll love it because he doesn't want to show like chinks in the armor when it comes to certain things that you're putting out there. So I respect it.
All right. There's a longer conversation that we can have about just this idea of like, if
and
it's
that conversation starts now.
That's right now. All right, come on. No, that idea of like, when do you think about the joke? Do you think about the fact that this idea is then going to go into people's brains and germinate and potentially become other things? And I do think about that. Brett does not, of course.
No, I don't. I actually, this is one of the places where I think we are staunchly at ends.
But that's the thing is like, I don't watch your set though and think those are bad ideas that I wish Brett wasn't putting out into the universe. No, I think that you still do it even if you don't put the effort into it.
Sure. Yeah, it's a small component to it, but I'm not super concerned about it because the way that I look at it is that George Carlin at in his prime arguably had as much influence as you can possibly have in stand-up comedy on a societal scale. He was the biggest comedian. He was speaking on societal issues and giving social commentary at the highest level that you could at the time. If you go watch Jamming in New York, everything that he talks about, which is 100% accurate, is still going on today. So to me, that is enough evidence that the impact that we are having on people is minimal. The it is there, but it is so minimal that it is not worth spending a large amount of my resources concerning myself with. I would much rather concern myself with the comedy, the absurdity of the joke, the quality of the joke.
Where I would respond there, first of all, totally valid point. My argument would be that there are a lot of different reasons why what George Carlin was saying did not create the societal change that he was working towards. It's a little bit like Rob and I were having a conversation on a previous episode about whether or not Twitter should be censoring Donald Trump and things like that. Right. And his argument was, like, we have all this problem, like maybe the censoring is the problem. And I'm like, well, no, we've done so little censoring. what we're seeing now is the problem that exists when there's no censoring, basically, you know? And so when you say, well, George Carlin was talking about those things and nothing changed, and I kind of wanted to flippantly be like, oh yeah, one comedian didn't change all of culture. Oh man. I guess you should have just focused on being funny instead.
Yeah, but what I said was that he had as much influence as you can have on society as a comedian at one time.
Yes.
You know, he had a huge influence for one comedian.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there are, you know, there are like 10,000 other comics, you know, driving back and forth across the country, not doing that, you know?
Yeah, but in that time when Carlin is the biggest, there are 5 networks. You know, there's not even that much cable TV. It is the 1% is they're Jeff Bezos in terms of influence. Things have fractioned a lot more today, but back then it was so much more. Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, Richard Pryor. That's like it. You know, there just was so much of if you were at the top, you were the guy. And George Carlin was the guy for a long time.
Okay.
And Eddie Murphy was the guy for a long time too, but there are still despite his best efforts.
We should really read Twitch's terms of service before we let Rob on again.
Yeah. Can we cancel Rob now, please?
It's not my word.
We should at least explain for anybody who doesn't get it.
I'll definitely explain. Sorry. I need to explain.
The joke, if you're not familiar, Eddie Murphy had a lot of homophobic jokes in his very famous specials, Raw and
Delirious.
Yeah. Delirious, yes. And despite it being hilarious at the time, it is it aged very poorly, and he does use that word quite freely.
That's what the joke is based off of, and I felt like I didn't want to neuter it by not using the word, but I do apologize for using the word.
So I would just say I'm with you, Brett, but I still think that it was one man against a deluge of not just other comedians, but other material that's coming in from 1,000 different sources.
Yeah, and I bet he must have changed at least one person's mind. He must have affected at least 1 or 2 people, and to me, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't poo-poo you doing that. It's just for me, I think that if that was my interest and my goal, that I just would be finding another platform to do that in, where I think that I would have more change. I think I'd be spending my time in local politics, and I personally want to do comedy because I want to entertain and I want to go for the joke above anything else.
All right, good note. You should retire, Jarret. Thank you. Pick a different.
All right, Hannah.
Well, I love this debate, and I think I fall, like, funnily enough, squarely in the middle here, where I absolutely think that the words matter, they mean something, and your message should be on point. Whatever that message is, whatever you feel in your heart. I also feel like that getting there, the way in which you get there, is completely up to you. And I think my joke, I couldn't have probably tried a better joke to exemplify my point, to be like, I am on this side. Eddie Murphy is homophobic and wrong in that sense. I want to make fun of him. May I use the naughty word in order to do it? In my opinion, yes. And if people have an issue with that, I have to kind of shrug my shoulders and go like, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to hurt you. It was to make a different point. And you know, that's what I think is funny, but also effective, and that's how I'm going to do it. I hope that you understand. So that's kind of where I want to land, where I'm like, I'm on your side. Or if you have a brain, you should think that I'm on your side. And I'm going to be creative in how I get there. And you got to give me that birth, give me that space.
I don't believe that you should be callous in the way that you're saying. Like if I'm doing my joke about pronouns, I still am starting off with, I feel bad for trans people. I think being stuck in the wrong body would be a rough hand to be dealt, and I wouldn't want to go through that myself. That's always going to come across, and I'm gonna speak my truth on that matter. I just don't think that the importance of me doing that for my influence on the rest of society, I don't feel that responsibility. I don't think I have that great power, and so I don't have that great responsibility.
Well, I disagree. I think every single one of us has the power to change even one mind. Then we all have an insane amount of power.
I don't agree with that.
I would with Jarret.
I agree.
I do have other
No, I love talking about
Notes for the joke.
For your joke, yeah.
Oh yes.
In that case, we'll leave this this debate for the Patreon for the rest of the. So let's go back to the bit.
Okay.
Let's go back to the joke.
So
I'm
if you
sorry,
guys
next
want to
Patreon
hear
episode-
more debate, join the Patreon.
Patreon.com.
Is that our next?
Bob.
We should do that. That should be our next Patreon episode. Is just hot button topics that we find that we all disagree on, and then
Ooh.
we actually debate, and Jarret gets upset and leaves.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah, I like that a lot.
It'll be like that show Boiling Point, but Jarrett's the only.
One getting upset.
Yeah.
Could it be a segment? It's like, and this is the part of the show where Jarret gets mad and leaves. Jarret gets mad and leaves. All right, let's go back to the bit.
So this is a slightly different approach to the premise, but the first part of what you said I think is very funny. I think it's that you're doing this insane amount of research, but it's really just to do something kind of, I don't know, kind of petty. Like if you are like your fiance is like, oh my God, are you reading an abstract because you've gone so deep into the research that you want before, and you're like, yeah, I got to roast conservative on Twitter, you know, like if you're just going that, you're like, yeah, I want to make sure my facts are all in line before I call Tucker Carlson a pussy.
That is an excellent point and completely based in reality. Like before I
Yeah.
stopped getting into arguments with internet trolls and right-wing psychopaths, there were times when I'd be like typing up a story, but then I'd be like, wait a minute, I want to make sure I'm right about that. You know? And then I would go and I'd research, like, yeah, I am right about that. You know, it's like, go back to calling this guy an asshole.
So maybe there's a premise in there that's like, if people could see how people would be maybe less passionate online if they could see how often you have to pause your emotions to make sure you're right.
No, I like that. But also it's like, I love that because even the tiny amount that my retweet is going to do, if I'm wrong about it, I don't want to do that, you know? And so I'm doing the research, you know, I'm getting in there, even though I have such a small effect on the culture, you know, to make Mark Ruffalo's tweet go from 2,500 retweets to 2,501 is not going to make that big of a difference. But I want to make sure that I'm right about it before I do that. That feels like there's some some good meat there to delve into. You know?
I want Clippy to pop up. Be like, it sounds like you're writing a liberal rant. Would you like this fact check?
That's a deep cut for Windows Windows 98 users.
Or there's like a liberal Clippy who's like, it looks like you're writing a liberal rant, man.
Clippy the hippie.
Far out. Yeah, power to the people, and maybe you want to not use the word cuck there. Yeah.
If for some reason you wanted to go down the path that I was pitching, it might be fun to, because you know that this is a shortcoming of yours, you could give a little hint to the right winger. So like if you want to ever spew some right wing conspiracy theory, all you got to do is just give me a headline that I'm going to retweet, you know, make it and then you can use more fun
So the
liberal
headline
examples.
will say, if you don't think climate change is a problem, and I'm like, retweet, and the article is like, then you're right. Because
Yeah,
well, no,
exactly.
that could actually fit into the bit where I'm like, that's what I don't want to do. Like, that's why I do the research.
see.
You know, that's why I do the deep dive.
Then
you know?
you're right. Yeah, that's great.
All right. Anything else for this bit, guys?
No, I think that was great. Do you want to review some comments?
Ooh, yeah, let's get into these comments. Oh, this is a joke. I think I did it for you guys, actually. Or I can't remember if I did or not. But that I think it's more fun to be a Republican than it is to be a liberal on social media, because like if I get into a Twitter fight with somebody, I'm fighting with, MAGA boner 87. But if I was a Republican, I could be getting into a fight with Alec Baldwin. You know?
I agree with the correct side of history, quoted from Jarret by Nature.
That feels mean. That feels
I agree with the correct side of history. like he just what's it called? He just tacked on, oh, they won the World Series, so I like them now. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah, is that what you're saying? Because if
front running.
go to hell.
If not, go to heaven.
Model Movie says
Just never heard that.
Excellent, Rob. Excellent.
Model Newbie says, yes, Clippy with the black rim glasses and a beard. Looks like we're writing a liberal rant. I found this in Carta 95 article. Thanks for chiming in, guys. And do we have any way that people could see extra episodes other than the ones we put on YouTube, Jared?
What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Like if people like really enjoy the show, and then we put these episodes out, do we? Is there anything that we do? Do we ever record like extra episodes?
Oh boy,
where they could
God, that is
could
hard.
see extra for like a
Because it's
small
like,
amount of
yeah,
money?
because it's like, yeah, we do have extra episodes that we haven't made available to the public, like the high writing
Right.
challenges, like story time, like
Yes,
the sleepovers, like you know,
I
the
know we
10-year
recorded
reunion
those.
that we recorded them, and they're all on
But
YouTube,
what do we
but
do
you
with
can't
them?
see them. God, I mean, I guess you could watch them if you like join the Patreon, because the Patreon has all the access to it. You know,
yeah, they're all on the Patreon.
I think that's the only way that you can do it. I think that's the only way that people can see that content. So yeah, if you guys are interested in the bonus content, patreon.com/ITApod. And I really enjoyed this bit, but I'm looking for the thing that happens where people know that we're doing a bit, you know?
I guess that there we go. There it is. Rob mumbling, go to the Patreon.
But now, bat and cleanup, we got
Hey, Robert.
Brian.
All right. You know, I have more of a conceptual idea again. No punchlines really, but that really worked out for me well last time. I think we
This
covered
is
a lot of
Rob's
good
bit
stuff.
this week. And here's the tag.
My bit this week is this color. See? This color.
We should have somebody who does the Yoko. We should have Yoko Ono on the show. That will be what she does.
Sometimes if I'm going through something like potentially really good news, significant, or potentially really like bad news, but it's kind of up in the air, I don't really like telling people until well after the fact. I don't know if any of you guys can sort of relate to that, where you're in the middle of it and you're just like, I'm going to hold off until we know more information type thing. And I can't think of examples right now, but something along those lines. And then I basically pitch that to the audience and say that. I see if people agree. Maybe there's some examples. And then I hit them with, in fact, I could be going through some crazy shit right now, and you have no idea. You will have no idea until well after the fact that it's over. So the concept being like, we talk about that idea, and then I also reveal, it's like, even right now, you know, who knows what I'm teetering on that could go one way or the other. And then maybe later in the set, I check my phone, I go, it's not cancer. All right. But I have not thought any of the like words or anything else. But you know, that's the idea.
I think you could get into the first part. I don't know if you have this same opinion as I do, which is like, unlike a journalist, I don't like to report the facts until they're all in, because that is a real gripe that I have with broadcast journalism and journalism in general these days, because it's like. I'm tuning in. It's breaking news, but also none of this could be true in an hour. So why am I reading this?
Yeah. Is there a way to do a stand-up joke the way that a reporter on the scene who doesn't know anything is just sort of like vamping? Could you do stand-up that way? Could you?
Funny.
So I'm on an airplane the other day, and the steward comes by and is like, you know, do you want peanuts or do you want cookies? And it's like, Will somebody be coming by with a drink? I don't know. Maybe.
I love that concept.
Yeah, I think you can go deeper into the minutia. We have heard that peanuts have been served on planes. That can't be confirmed right now. I have heard from some people on nobody official, but as far as the police commissioner said, no word on whether there will be peanuts. Now, if you look over here, there is another person. They're also looking to debate on whether they will be getting peanuts or not. You know, just as much stalling as you can.
This concept is so funny. I
that
would go
person has
even more.
peanuts. Will that affect my decision? Only time will tell.
Yeah, I might even go harder on joke structure, just so that to really slam the point home. Where I'd be like, we are live here at the bar right now. There is a priest. We are currently waiting on, I believe, any moment now, a rabbi should be walking in the door. We will be right back with you whenever that happens. Again, Here I am, Rob Ryan, comedian, at a bar. There is a priest waiting on a rabbi.
Potentially.
Potentially. Yes.
I also think it'd be really. We've totally done a different
No, this
concept
is so
here,
funny,
but it'd be a really fun way to do crowd work too, because you could literally just comment on what is in front of you with the people who are there. I think that would be so. If as soon as you said this is Rob Ryan reporting live from Greenwich Village Comedy Club, like the premise is there. There is a guy in front of me. He might be with this woman.
Right.
He might not. Could be a first date. It could be that they were just sat together because there were too many people and there was not room for empty seats. And so it looks like they're together. Maybe they're both LARPers. Maybe this is, you know.
I am being told they are together. That's
I mean, we can keep fleshing this out if you have more ideas on that, but I do want to get to what you originally pitched because I think it's very funny. Can you give me an example of like, I know for me, when I told people, oh, I've been through 3 rounds of America's Got Talent. I got a standing ovation in front of the judges, and they're flying me to Vegas, so I'm definitely going to be on. I learned my lesson when they did not show that first episode and then edited me out of the episode except for background stuff completely. So do you have an example of something like that you could start off with?
That's a good point. And you know what's funny is that I was having a conversation with my roommate yesterday about this. That had come up where it was like, legitimately good news for like a performer or an actor. If an actor gets a callback, it's like, I am okay, like celebrate that callback, because there are still some overwhelming odds against you that you might not get this role. So you might as well celebrate the victory where you have it. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead, post it. Hey, I got this, and enjoy that little victory. But sometimes if I have the urge to do something, like I have this idea for this film I want to shoot. It's almost like I don't want to tell people the idea because I don't want to just have me be the guy who just says, I'm going to do this one day and then never do it. So there's that element to it. But then there's also the bad news aspect where you're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I had to go get some tests done, and I don't want to leave people in this like suspense of like, oh my gosh, like have to share with me that nervousness of like, I don't know what it's going to be. I haven't gotten test results back yet from blah. So I probably would err on the side of just waiting until after the fact. But these are all very slightly different examples of things. So I don't really know exactly how to put that out.
Okay, so we need an example. I think we need an example to start with, and then I think it's really funny. Like I could be going through something awful right now. You would just never know. My only concern would be that if you don't have some kind of misdirect punchline to that, then if you just trail off, people will be like, oh, that didn't go anywhere, and then it's obvious that it's going to be a callback, or you just kind of lost the trust of the audience.
I know.
I can really easily imagine that unless you do that bit right then, that people will forget that premise, and they will just hear you go, it's not cancer, and then that'll be like, oh, is that related to something? Or yeah, we're happy for you, man. Good job.
You know what? I'm going to cap this off with one more silly joke idea, and that way we can have something more to sink our teeth into. I'm at the gym. The goal, bench my body weight. The only thing standing in my way is how do I lose the 70 pounds in order to do that? There we go. That's a little palate cleanser for that other concept art piece I was working on.
I just got back from this interpretive dance show. Can we go see Hobbs and Shaw, please? Just so I can like wash my brain a little bit. All right. Anything else for Rob Ryan, everybody?
That was great. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And now for the best part, Rob, sing it in. Sing in the best part of the episode.
It's Leedy, doodle time, yeah. She's gonna doodle straws for us, Leedy.
Hold on a second. It feels like the Leedy songs are either just like rambling nonsense, or very specifically a song that exists, and we're just trying to fit lyrics about Leedy into them.
You got it.
It's getting Leedy in here, so draw us all your clothes.
Oh my god. All right, so some drawings today. First up, I have Blonde Jesus.
Ooh, that's
amazing.
a great drawing.
Nice.
you.
Otherwise known as Jesus.
All right.
Blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus.
Well, you are on a roll.
Almost.
I think that Jesus was black but was still blonde, like a Dennis Rodman type thing.
Oh no, is someone saying my sound sucks? I was just asked if I was on a jet plane. Sorry.
No, that's a reference to the
No,
song.
no.
that Rob was
Oh, thank God. I
singing.
had a heart attack.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
So
Great.
perfect.
No, we would have told you if your sound was bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm too young to know this song, or just don't know it.
No, it's okay. Yeah. you
It's
don't
a
know the
song about leaving on a jet plane, and I believe that the person who wrote the song died on a jet plane.
Oh God. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, real quick about this blonde Jesus. Did you know that
Yeah.
story about how he only had like enough hair dye for one person, but he was able to dye like 100 people's hair, you know?
Really good.
Yeah.
It was a miracle. They had previous box color,
Are
and
you-
yet we're able to bleach.
Are you doing Jesus and Hanukkah?
No,
Is that
no,
what-
I didn't realize it sounded like that, but there's a thing where Jesus only had like one
Oh,
loaf of bread
fish.
and one fish, and he was able to give fish and bread to everybody.
Yeah.
What I should have done was they were at a party and they ran out of wine, so he turned the water into hair dye.
Jesus also wrote a real banger song about a cross, and then he later
Oh
died
God
on it.
damn it. Okay.
Very sad.
I'm leaving on
I'm
Crucifix.
leaving on a
Puts-
jet plane
Put spikes in my wrist. Yeah.
No.
Crown of thorns on my forehead.
for the King of the Jews.
Oh boy.
Spear me in the side. Jesus
No,
is
no.
Middle Eastern. Jesus is Middle Eastern.
Do know when I'll be back again.
In 3 days.
There's a lyric that says, "Don't know when I'll be back again." All right.
I inferred as much.
Mhm. She Googled the lyrics
No, I did not.
moments ago.
Next up, I have. I'm late for the stream.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Then I have. I know my stories can be obscure.
3 in a row. Oh,
Perfect.
I love it.
happy.
Excellent.
Then I've got. Hey, dude, it looks like you're writing a liberal rant.
Cliffy the hippie.
Hey, I love it.
And then I have. You have enough because you are enough.
That
We
is
can just
amazing.
enjoy
That is
that one
excellent.
again. Why don't we?
I love
Wow.
it.
We
That
gotta
is
put
so
that
good.
on the Twitter. No context. I mean, you don't even need context. Like the joke is there.
So funny.
That's
Man,
great.
What a great look. That's so
Excellent.
cool. Can I see the pull out again? That's
Yeah.
great.
Rob Ryan directing a porno. Can I see the bullet again?
All right, pull out.
just
No.
came.
The cameraman, not you. You keep fucking.
Oh God.
No camera. No man. Don't try to fuck her. I'm talking to the. You pull out on with the camera.
In my mind, he was in the editing bay. And he was saying, let me see the pullout again. Like, isn't the pullout shot again?
okay.
I like it. We're shooting, and I want the camera to pull out.
Oh my God.
Scorsese directing a porno. Okay. Your brothers, your sisters.
Oh no.
Why do they always do that with the incest? I don't understand. I would have watched. Like, it's so weird. It's like when they show me a movie preview and there's like way too much information about the movie. For me, it's like porno. I'm like, they're two people having sex. I would have watched whether they were brother and sister or just neighbors. Like, you didn't
Yeah.
have to try to pull me in with all this. And in the porno, they rarely even reference their familial relationship. So I'm just like, are they brother and sister? Like, why'd you even say it in the title?
Yeah, it's just two people having sex for like 20 minutes, and at the end they're like, "By the way, we're brother and sister."
I sure hope my mom, who's married to your dad, but that's not your dad. I mean, your dad's not my dad. My mom's not your mom. We're having sex.
Nice.
If you only see a small clip, you're like, what did I even jerk off to? I don't even like. How do they know each other?
What if in porn they're always like, all right, before we get started having sex, all we need is a relationship. How do we know each other? What's Dr. Patient. All right, thank you.
All the porn actors can think of is a brother and sister. That's why it keeps happening. They're like, brother and sister.
I heard brother and sister. All right.
Let's shoot this thing.
All right. What's the next one, Leedy?
Porn improv team is, wow, I love porn.
Next up, and it might be the last one, I can't remember, is, okay, here's my bit today. It's a bit obscure. We're gonna watch it again.
Oh boy,
I love it.
Make
Thank
me the
you.
punchline.
Noodle
And
arms for
that
Brian.
was the last one.
Leedy Corbin. Where can they find you, Leedy?
You can find me on all the socials under my name, Leedy Corbin, and also my Twitch is Leedy Art. So come give me a follow. I also have Patreon, and I've been sending out some Christmas cards for Patreon. So if you join my Patreon, I'll send you a card.
All right. Check out Leedy's stuff. And if you're watching us on Twitch, subscribe to the podcast, to the YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. We'll do this again soon.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody who joined us live on Twitch. And we will see you soon. Outro goes
Here.
Thanks so much for watching. Check back every Monday for new episodes, or you can listen wherever you enjoy podcasts. If you want to help support the show, tell your friends how much you like Is This Anything? Or get involved, like an episode, share, comment, subscribe. If you want more Is This Anything, you got to join our Patreon at patreon.com/ITAPod. We have a ton of awesome exclusive content on there, and you can join for as little as $1 a month. Check out the links in the description, and hopefully we'll see you next week.